Hello, good evening. How are you? This is your old pal Boise with another daily sobriety vlog. It's 9:57 on a Monday night, June 15th. I have been sober for 14,321 days, 39 years, 3 months, and 15 days, 470 months total. It's a long ride, a long run, as the Eagles would say. And long ride, that's a Marshall Tucker band, I think. But anyways, how you doing this evening? I hope your sobriety is going well. I hope you're having a good time with your life and you're moving forward and progressing as we all want to do, as you do when you're sober. Someone sent me a bunch of topics. That was kind of cool. For someone who's been sober for 39 years, and it's tips to help you stay sober. So they got, kind of a question, and they want me to elaborate on it, which is great because you really have to be active with your sobriety. And when I say that, you don't have to be every step, look out, be diligent. But when you're getting into situations, and the first one they ask is, do you stay out of risky situations? Now, after 39 years of sobriety, I don't look at very many things as being too risky anymore. In the early days, every step could be risky, especially if you're trying to hang out with your old pals, do the thing you used to do. I still just like to go shoot pool. I'm just going to drink a Coca-Cola. It's the old saying: you got one foot on the one foot solid on the floor, and the next one standing on a banana peel. So it can be kind of treacherous. Now, I tell people, and you've heard me probably if you already listened to some earlier daily sobriety vlogs, I one, have a problem with authority. Two, I tend not to listen very tightly to some of the rules and tend to bend and break them. Not recommended. So there are things that I do that are not recommended. Just because you do the same crazy ass things that I may have done does not mean you're going to be sober for 39 years. You might not even make it for 39 days, much less 39 minutes after you do what I do. So I was in a situation where I just felt challenged every time, and part of the way for me to deal with the fear and the anxiety of being locked up, having my freedom taken away, being threatened that if I effed up, I'd get a year in prison plus the year and a half of the 2 years I didn't serve, so it'd be 2.5 years in prison. Wouldn't be a halfway house where I get out for work. I would be locked up and learning how to drink toilet wine at that point, because I probably wouldn't have stayed sober, because being in prison is not exactly the rehabilitation that they claim it is. You know what I mean? It just really isn't. So I knew that I had to fight to stay out of that. And when they told me that the roofing job was done in Minnesota, because you don't roof in the winter, it gets pretty cold, 40 below, 20 below, snow, you're not roofing. And when they presented, my probation officer presented the fact that I would be going straight to prison plus those extra year, because it would be a violation of my probation agreement. Even though I was sober, it would be a violation of my agreement because I did not have a job. You used to work in the restaurants. It's the only time you weren't working in the restaurant. Get your ass back in the restaurant. So I did. And then later on, she was asking questions about it, and I was always kind of ducking it, and then she realized I was ducking the answers. So when she asked, "Are you cooking?" I said, "No." "You dishwashing?" "No." "What are you doing? Prep?" "Nope." "Working the expo line?" "Nope." "You assistant manager?" "Nope." "What are you doing?" "I'm a bartender." Yeah, it's not recommended 9 months sober being a bartender. I took the challenge in a different way, because when I went out drinking, I'm the funny guy, and I wanted to be the center of attention. and I wanted to meet girls. I was a single guy, so being the center of attention and meeting girls, and I'd be the comic and the slapstick kind of guy. And some girls don't like guys with humor, so we don't have to worry about those, do we? But the ones that do like humor, oh, I have a chance, I have a chance, I have a chance. So when you're bartending, you literally, if there's 20 girls in the bar, you know which ones are married, you know which ones just got divorced, you know which one, and you're bartending and you talk to them, and basically when you do ask them out, if they've been at the bar for 3 hours, you're already on your third date, you're already on third base, ready to steal home. That's how I looked at it. But the guys who were drinking, they got a kick out of my humor, so I was kind of the Pied Piper, so I didn't feel like I had to be part of the group. I was actually kind of the center of attention behind the bar, and it's easy to be the center of attention when you're the one pouring the drinks. They all know your name, just like Cheers. You want to go to a place where everyone knows your name, and with a name like Boise, easy to remember. And if people didn't, and they yell out Cincinnati, Denver, I knew they were talking to me. Oh, be right with you. This guy's yelling out cities. So, I mean, that was just it was a weird thing. And I use it as a challenge because I was also, like I say, I have a problem with authority, and I'm also stubborn. Surprise. So I was in a bit of a risky situation, being a bartender, risky business. But the funny thing is that with my probation officer randomly drug testing me every time I walked into the courthouse for the next 2 years, that kept me sober. Because if I had failed the drug test, I would immediately have the bracelets on me, and I'd have to get a lawyer, and I'd be in trouble all over again. And chances are I wouldn't be able to survive that argument, and I would be locked up. Cheers. So that in itself is a bad situation to be in, but that motivated me to not drink and then make my money anyways, and meet girls and have fun and be the center of attention basically at the bar. And it was everything I liked. And I used to be a FM radio, 100,000 watt FM radio DJ. I also DJ'd at did it again later at some bars, and stand-up comedy, all kinds of stuff. So I always enjoyed that, and I'm very comfortable in groups and crowds in front of people, and I don't stammer too much and don't trip too much over my own tongue. Everyone does, but I don't do it as much as when I was wasted. But yeah, so it's a situation you probably don't want to be in. They want you to build a support network, and that takes time, because when I first started, I didn't have any family members that backed me at all. None. Not a one. I'll have family and I go, oh yeah, I was back. No, they weren't. Some of them slowly, 6 months, 9 months. Some of them would slowly start coming around, but no, there was no support system. So if you have family members that are supporting you, God bless you. You make sure you hang on to those people. You make sure that you talk to them and you are open and honest, because God damn it, you need those people. No joke. You need them. Now, the other people you need are the ones that I had to start off and rely with, or the ones that were in AA meetings or Narcotics Anonymous meetings, people that were in probation with me, people that were in the halfway house where I was locked up. Those people, while we were getting our sea legs, shall we say, that was my support network. And now, like my auntie always told me, I was a warning sign on the highway of life, and I remind her now that I'm a billboard of redemption on the same highway. And the funny thing is when I walk in, I used to walk into meetings, I'm Boise, I've been sober for 9 months. Hey Boise, welcome, hi, and then I tell a story. But by the time my stories were full, gut-wrenching, totally exposing myself and embarrassing myself emotionally, that people were actually stunned or shocked that I would go that deep and that open with people. And I've been doing that since my lockup. And that inspired the guys at Dirty Dozen that we were locked up. We had 2 groups of 12, and the other 11 guys in my group, that inspired them to push it a little more too. But I was always diving in the deep end right off the bat, cannonballing, backflipping. I was just, I'm going to make a splash any way I can, belly flopping, if you will. And I do that in this hotel. It was in the Bowery they took us to when we were in lockup. And they let us go on a field trip, and we were able to walk over and do the AA meeting, and it was for an hour, and then we had to get our asses back another half hour after that, or there'd be a warrant out for our arrest. They weren't playing. So that was just really new and exciting for me, and it made me feel comfortable no matter where I went. And it actually strengthened my sobriety and the way I felt, the way I walked. And when I did my walk and my talk, I actually walked the walk and talked the talk. And at first it was kind of awkward. At first it was a challenge, and then it became even more of a challenge, and I felt benefits from it, which was wonderful. And then from there I took it to the next level. Then pretty soon I'm going to these meetings, and I've been sober for 10. Oh, excellent, good, good to be glad you're here, Boise. And there'd be 4 or 5 people that were sober much longer than me, and then there'd be 15 and 20 and 25 and 30. And by the time I was at 25, there weren't too many more sober than I was at most of these things. 30, less and less. 35, less. And I go now at 39, and I'm usually the oldest hound in the pack as far as sobriety, because when we were first becoming sober and we had our first year and we got our coin, it's like that's your first birthday, because they count it as your new life, and that's your first year in your life, your second life. So now I'm 39 years sober, so I'm a 39-year-old, and there's not a lot of people that are 39 and higher. So like I say, I'm the old dog. I'm the old guard, if you will. And it's funny because I go to these meetings and I'd be gone. I have to get back in a half hour. I'd be violating my probation. Then when my probation was completely done, I go to a meeting and I could come and go as I please, and I could chit chat with some people and work my way out. I'm from Minnesota, so you have the Minnesota goodbye, the long goodbye. If it's done at 10 o'clock, I'm still yapping to people at 25, 30 minutes after 10 o'clock. It'd be 1:45 before I even get to my car, but now for 45 minutes yappering with people. Then, as I even got older in my sobriety, I've told my wife, I said, I go to an hour meeting, and sometimes I'm there for an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours to get home. Why? Everybody wants to talk to me because they remember me standing up saying, hi, I've been sober 39 years, or hey, 35, 34 years, whatever it was when I was in my life when I was saying it. And it got a lot of people's attention, and the first thing I want to do is pick my brain, or as I kid around and say, rub my belly for good luck like I'm Buddha. And I believe in paying it forward, because those people that are with me have legitimate questions and legitimate concerns, and far be it from me to blow them off and go because I want to go home and watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or Game of Thrones. It's like, hey, there's people that need me. I can entertain myself with that dribble later, So it's humbling and it's very rewarding. And that's your support system. So make sure you have that, plus your family. And like I say, my family was not there at the beginning, but they're there now. And they slowly started getting in there, depending on who they were, which cousin it was, and family member, as the years went on. Because then they were like, oh, shoot. God, I should have placed a bet on him a long time ago. This is a winning horse. When you're a winning horse, cheers, people follow you. And people behave that way because you suddenly have that reputation that you just developed yourself. Find a peer support group is another thing they want me to talk about, and that's of course what I already kind of guess touched on it anyways. The people that you're locked up with, or the people that are your even if you're not locked up like me and went through it the hard way, you hit rock bottom in your own way. But if you're going to your church and you're going to your synagogue or mosque or wherever they're having it, at the city civic center, or the town centers, and those are going to be your peers. Those are the people in your neighborhood. Most of the people live pretty close to you because they don't drive a long ways to get to one of those meetings. Some do, because they really want to be anonymous. But, just use your support system. Get people. Sometimes, they have sponsors, and you have someone who's been... I've had friends that asked me to be a sponsor, and I can't be a sponsor to a friend because I did it once, and she manipulated me because she was weaponizing my empathy for her, and she was still actually doing cocaine. So, yeah, I'm not doing that shit anymore. That's the way I feel. But I will help people and guide them to get to the proper people. That I will do. But personally, no, I can't get in the ring with you. Managing your urges. Well, if you, most urges only last like 15 to 30 minutes. They really do. And then you'll get a handle on it, roughly. It's just like hunger. If you're on a diet, you could be sitting there and think, I'm not even hungry. I'm literally not hungry. But damn it, I got some tortilla chips that are in the pantry, and I'm sitting here watching a football game. I think I'll go get some. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry now. Oh, we got licorice too? I'll grab a couple of those too. And you weren't even hungry and you did it. If you waited long enough, calmed yourself down and thought about you don't really need it, it's not exactly beneficial. It's not exactly... You're not starving, and you're not going to die if you don't eat. Shit, go brush your teeth then. Have something. You want some oral sensation. You want to get a shot of whiskey or something, You want to know what you should do? Go right in the refrigerator, pour yourself a little shot of apple cider vinegar. Whoa. Come on, you can handle it. You used to do shots of vodka, right? Vodka. Or shots of Jack Daniels, right? So, and I remember when I had this girl, she was a senior and I was a freshman, and I ended up working with her at the Eidelauer Supper Club, and I had a crush on her because she's beautiful. And she's the one that... I was already smoking cigarettes to blend in, but she was the one that taught me how to drink whiskey. And she'd say, it burns. I know. That's what you gotta do, Boise. Take the shot glass. There was this little thing, people bouncing on the table. They got these little rituals. You develop your own. That way you look like you know what you're doing. But more importantly, while you're doing that, you take a breath. Don't go, so everyone can see you, but just breathe it in. Take a good deep breath and fill your lungs. You take that shot, boom. Smack the shot glass on the table. It's burning like hell on the way down, and your lungs are full of air, and you just go... Cools your breath, but it makes you look cool too, because you're the same. Oh man, that shit's smooth. People were just amazed. What the hell? This guy can do that? Really, it was like a magic trick to some people. And bad thing to learn. I'm just telling you right now, don't go try it, for God's sakes. But that's what I did, because I wanted to blend in. And while I was using, their biggest fear is fear of rejection. You're not going to get rejected if you know how to drink. Now, if you throw up on someone's shoes, get into a fight, fall through their coffee table and bust it, slam into a door and break it, or slam the glass and break something, it's like, you'll be rejected. Find an activity that means something to you. A lot of us work out, and when you're getting healthy, you try to eat better and try to be as healthy as you can. So that in itself is something you pursue. I would run, and I would run 6 miles a day. But I ran on a treadmill in the basement of the house. I wore out one treadmill, had to get another one. Honest to God. And the only time I ran in public is when I was running races like marathons or something. Then I'd run in public. Otherwise, back in the house. No one ever saw me doing it. I'm the same way with a stationary bike. I think a stationary bike should just be done in the house. I don't even believe that you should even just be on a 10-speed biking because for exercise, because 10-speed makes it easier to pedal. Stationary bike, you pedal. 10-speed bike or 20-speed bikes or whatever they are, you coast when you go downhill. You can't coast in a stationary bike. So if you do 10 miles on a stationary bike, you did 10 miles. If you go bike for 10 miles, maybe you did 6.5. That's all I'm saying. Didn't do anything for me. And the way people drive nowadays, especially with cell phones in their hands and not on a holder, you might just get your ass run over just trying to keep yourself healthy, especially in Houston. Woo, baby, look out. But find an activity that means something to you, you know? Learn to manage stress. Kim showed me in yoga, and then it was the same thing in martial arts too. I just kind of forgot about it, but you breathe in through your nose. You hold it 4, 5, 6 seconds. Slowly breathe out your mouth. In through the nose, hold it out your mouth. Do that 2 or 3 times, and literally your pulse rate will drop, and your heart rate will slow down a little bit, and then you'll be able to focus on what just pushed you to the edge, and then you should be able to address it a little more calmly and not make a snap decision that you'll only regret. So it's a good thing. Even if you're if you get in a fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend, that's a good thing to do. And that way you don't end up saying some shit you're going to regret for the rest of your life. Because in the heat of the moment, we all know what that can do to our relationships, right? Learn to relax. Some real cool things down here. Breathing exercises. There we go, huh? Music, yeah, love music, man. That really helps me out. Bath, take a bath. Kim will take a bath. Sometimes she'll tell me, you need to take a bath. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'll put on some music. She'll light up some candles and just let me float around in the tub. Put in some, what does she call it? Salt. I forget what kind of salt. Epsom salt. And it relaxes your muscles and everything. So it's pretty cool. That's a good thing. We used to have a hot tub in Nashville. That was, woo, yeah, look out. You got a hot tub here in Houston, but it ain't nowhere near as good as the one in Nashville. Nature walk. I like to walk. I like to walk almost every night. And I walk during the day too. And I really enjoy that. Reading. Kim's a big reader. I read enough, but not enough, you know. Meditation. I have done that. You know, learned it as a kid from the Beatles and the Maharishi Yoga. So yeah, I'm digging that, and of course yoga. I do yoga, and it also helps with my stretching exercises. And I did yoga and stretching when I was in martial arts as well. So. And I really believe in being as flexible as I possibly can for a 65-year-old. I'm not quite the Gumby I used to be, but I am pretty stretchy. Manage physical pain. Yoga and stuff helps me because my muscles as you get older tighten up. And if you're 40, you're going to realize, yeah, shoot, dude, my muscles are tighter than they were when I was 30. When you're 30, eating that black piece of cake that says, and the thing that says over the hill, when you're having the over the hill black balloon party, which I enjoyed because I was sober 3 years. So I was like, I've been alive for 3 years. You know, I'm year 3 of my new life. This ain't over. But you tend to look back every 10 years over your shoulder and see what you've done, what you've accomplished, and what you thought you were going to do and you didn't do, and you may consider yourself a failure over that. You can really pound yourself into the ground like your very own sledgehammer. But yoga and things like that, walking, stretching, you stretch and your hamstrings are looser and your calf muscles are. Then from your ankle all the way to the ball of your feet, it stretches out your feet. You can stretch your toes back and stuff, and all that stretching from your toes all the way up to your buttocks, that stuff can tighten up and really give you a hard time. And you want to be as loose as you possibly can, and that'll help you manage physical pain. Be a designated driver, and that's what I do, because right now I drive Lyft. Before that I drove Uber. When I worked for Applebee's and I was sober and we were on the road, I think I was sober like 9 or 10 years at that time, and I would just drive the crew to the bar. They'd have pizzas, beers, shoot pool. I'd shoot pool, listen to the jukebox, pick out some tunes. Maybe there's a band, enjoy that, and then people get a little tipsy, but I drove all their drunken butts home back to the hotel and no one got in trouble. So I guess I was auditioning to be a rideshare boy way back when. But being a designated driver is very handy, and people do appreciate that. Prepare your story. Decide what you'll say when someone asks you why you're sober. I don't know why that would be such a trick, but I have, because sometimes I can be real sarcastic, and if I feel you're not being sincere and you're being kind of a smart ass, had one guy just say, "So why get sober? What's the point?" What? What I felt like acting like Biff and knocking on his forehead. "Hello, McFly, McFly." What a dumb question. It's like saying, why wipe your ass after you shit? What are you talking about, man? Clean up your mess, keep yourself organized. But I said to him, well, that way I'm not sliding sideways into your minivan and you and your wife and your 3 kids get to taste your own blood before you die. Maybe a little too harsh. His wife didn't seem to like that. But why ask a question like that? I at that point, I literally at that moment, like, I don't want to engage with you. I'm going to say something that's really cruel and stupid and shitty, and then you just kind of float away, because you are a floater. No matter how hard I flush, you're going to still stick around the bowl. So time to get rid of that shit. But I don't play footsies with people like that for very long, because they're asking that question because they don't think being sober is the right thing, and if they can just go ahead and mock me and try to torpedo me, that'll justify their feelings. So and try a mocktail. When I was first sober and I go listen, I love music, so I go see the bands play live, and that's actually where I met Kim. I met her in a bar in Superior, Wisconsin, because it was open an hour later. And I just wanted to listen to the music. But the funny thing is that I would deliberately drink tall Diet Cokes, and I would be dancing on the first set. I'd be milling and joking around with people. I was already bartending, so I had the night off, and I was out having a good time. So I was a bit of a social butterfly. I was no wallflower, to say the least. So if I met someone, I would buy their drinks. And then she was, well, let me buy it. No, you don't have to buy it. And I didn't want, what are you drinking? Diet Coke. I didn't want to say it. So it was a mocktail. I was mocking that I was actually drinking, just so I could blend in. Nowadays, I usually just drink. I don't even like drinking soda anymore. So nowadays, I drink bottled water, and I won't even drink it unless I'm the one that twists the cap off. because I don't trust anyone. When someone might put something in there and say, let's see if it's 39 years sober, let's put something in there and see what he does with this. I don't trust people at a party situation like that. And not that I walk around paranoid, but it's like, why should I put myself in a vulnerable situation? I like to be in control of the situation. I mean, that's the reason I got to be sober for 39 years, right? So it kind of goes with the territory. But I'm getting long-winded. Thank you for joining me. Venmo, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, Ding 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 Chime, Patreon. Thank you. Helping us with the outreach program. Your time is very important, so I appreciate the time you spend with me. And I'm serious, and I'm very sincere about that. Thank you very much. And I'm really sincere about your sobriety, and I hope that you get a little something out of this, and you get to talk to another brother who's in the same situation as you. I just might be a little further down the road, that's all. But you and me are in the same boat. You and me are in the same league. You and me are still walking side by side. Okay? You're not alone when I'm around. I just want you to know that. Also, the time you spend is very important. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul. I see you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I'm meeting a lot of people. You'll start seeing videos on the drive-by where I'm actually driving around H-Town, picking up people and chit-chatting. Sometimes it's just fun. Sometimes it's a little frolic, and you get to meet people you never thought you'd ever meet before, because we're the most diverse city in the United States of America, and we're the 4th largest city, so you never know who I'm going to pick up. You never know. I've picked up, just off the top of my head, I picked up some really cool transgender girls. I had fantastic conversations with them. I have fantastic conversations with everyone. And it all started because one guy from Pakistan, he said, I'm from Pakistan. Well, that's cool. And I'm a Muslim. Cool, I don't give a shit what religion you are, brother. I guess that makes sense. So will you do me a favor? What's that? Would you tell someone, at least 10 people, that you met someone from Pakistan who was a Muslim and you liked him? Yeah, tell everybody. That's cool. And that's what got me the idea to do something like this. So that way, if you heard that conversation and you never met someone from Pakistan and you never met a Muslim, you go, hey, that guy was all right. Boys, he was having fun with them too. They seem to be good friends. I thought they were all terrorists. See? Yeah, turn off Fox News. That doesn't do you any good when you start saying all people are one thing. Even addicts, we're all different, but we all have a similar pattern. Patterns you can identify, but we color it with our personalities in those patterns. Those patterns are definite, and those patterns are recognizable, but we color them with our own uniqueness, and we think we're completely unique. We are unique within a pattern. So you're only it's like water thinking it's being in the freezer, thinking it's really cool because it's in a cube, but it's the pattern of the ice tray that creates that. So that's what we are, is we're just frozen water in an ice tray. We're not that unique, but we're unique enough. Anyways, thank you for coming along. In the words of Ringo, peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. I love the fact that you joined me. And right now it's Monday. It's 10:30 at night. Ooh, and it's raining now. You can see it, right? Yeah. Just started raining again. It's supposed to rain all night through Houston, so yeehaw. All week, off and on. So, the stats for my daily sobriety vlog, Monday, June 15th, 14,321 days, 39 years, 3 months, 15 days, 470 months. Woo-wee. Thank you for the ride. Thank you for coming along for the ride. I do appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. God love you. I love you. Bye-bye.